Hello there, Marco here. First of all, thank you for watching my video. I will not say like, subscribe and all that, because if you do want, you can do that for free. This video is a tutorial on how to install and run and use the DeepSeek AI on your machine. The main point is that is open source, is rivaling OpenAI Model 01, and I will explain a little bit later why it is better to use it locally as opposed to online, and what are the differences between this and the others. As a disclaimer, this video is unscripted and unedited, and everything that you see is exactly as it happens. Okay, so let's jump into it. Number one, for this to happen, we need first to install the Olama application, which supports the models that are inside that. So the link is olama.com, download Windows in my case, but you have Linux or Mac OS versions too. I'll download the Windows version so you can actually see how it's working, what it is. We can see here that is 745 megabytes, which is quite a lot. After installation, this will go to a few gigs, around 4 to 5. And on top of that, this doesn't have the space that is gonna be used by the model that we will be installing, or models. You can actually have multiple models installed. So now we are waiting for this to download. As we are waiting, let me explain a little bit about the DeepSeek. So I'm sure that you have seen a couple weeks ago that there was a big market crash. Multiple companies had losses of about 20 plus percent in the AI world, um, on the stock price and all, basically. And there were all these losses because we've got this DeepSeek AI launched in China. Is a Chinese AI model, and it was comparable with what OpenAI O1 is. And on top of that, it was way cheaper to train. So we're talking the training for this took $5.6 million as opposed to the billions of dollars from ChatGPT and the rest, pretty much. Now, why are we installing this locally on our machine and not leveraging or using the one from the online? Well, pretty much, we're talking privacy. So I don't know if you have looked at the different sites, the terms and conditions, but those terms and conditions are clearly stating that they are using the data provided by you for different processes, including the um, basically training of the models with your data. That means that others that will do some asks might actually get access to your data in a way or another, which is not good, right? But that doesn't happen if you run your model locally and you're configuring and using it locally, which is basically why we're doing this video. Okay, so I see now that it kind of finished. A few seconds more. Done. Okay, we will install now the Olama. Okay, cool. Install. It takes a bit. I mean, as I said, there's a few gigs that are getting extracted from the archive, the setup. Um, so yeah, but it should be relatively fast. The actual time that we will spend will be when we are downloading the model in the next step, and we will get to that in a little bit. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, it got installed. Again, as a reminder, this is basically the application that it's running the local server and serves those models for you to be able to interact with them. Cool. Step number 2. We are currently on the Olama library models in the DeepSeek, and here, if you look, basically you have all the versions of the DeepSeek and the sizes. So we can actually see the 1.5 billion parameters is 1.1 gigs, 7 is 4.7, 8 is 4.9, 14 billion is the 9 gigs, 32 billion is 20 gigs, 70 billion is 43 gigs, and 671 billion parameters is 404 gigs of disk space. We will not be able to run on a normal computer the 70B and the 671. Well, I mean, 70B if you have a very powerful computer with lots of resources, but just to give you an idea, the 32 billion parameters basically worked on a computer that is 128 gigs of RAM, a very powerful latest video card, and it worked fine. So 70 billion and 671 billion, we are probably not going to be seeing in any um, normal computer. In our case, we will actually go with the 1.5 because we are currently on a laptop with 16 gigs of RAM. So let me actually show here. So we have a CPU 12 Gen Intel Core i5, and memory we have 16 gigs, and we have a GPU NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 um, laptop GPU. Cool. Okay, so now let's actually take the command. So in our case, we will take one of the distilled models, which is the 1.5B. So what we'll do, we will take this and copy it. Cool. Now what we need to do, it's actually going to start and run the cmd, this command. We will get it like this. Or in case you're familiar with the Windows keys, you can also do like Command R cmd. Cool. Now that we have this, we're pasting with a right click the llama run DeepSeek-R1 1.5B and press enter. Now it's pulling the manifest. It's seeing that we have 1.1 gigs. You can actually see this in my case, because I have a very good bandwidth, it will take roughly about a minute. I'm expecting to take way more for in general for other users. So we are waiting a little bit. In our case, will not wait long. For me, the next version, the 7B, took roughly about 8 minutes to download. And this, as you can see, is roughly about a minute. Okay, a little bit more. This is the core file, then it will take like the smaller files. It will validate. Um, okay, it did. Done, done. Okay, so this was it. Now what we'll do to be able to interact with it, we'll actually install the chatbox AI. It's chatboxai.app. Again, I will put into the video description these three links to be able to uh, help you with the installations and all. So now we'll download this chatbox AI. By the way, this is 147 megs, and the chatbox AI is actually useful not only for this but for other models too. It does work with the OpenAI 2 and many others, as I will show in a little bit after the installation. Okay, download it. Now we are installing it. We can select in this case where on the other we couldn't. We had to install it on the C drive. Okay, here we let this run chatbox selected. Finish. Now, voila, we got it. This is an example. Let me actually create a new example for you. So basically what I will do first is I will explain to you what is this. So this chat box is basically helping you connect with an AI model and query it as a chat pretty much. In the left you have all the chats, the sessions basically. On the right you have the answers, and on the bottom you have uh, your request, what you're asking it to do. What is important for us in our case is here on the bottom left, and then also here on the bottom right, where if you see we have the model that is being used. You can actually have multiple models, and you can switch from here the model and then write your request. But before that, let's actually configure this chat box to use our own model. So what we do, we go to settings. On the very first page here, you can actually see in my case that is remembering my setting Olama API. But if I click on this, you can actually see it supports many others. OpenAI API, Cloud API, Google Gemini, NM Studio, DeepSeek API, Silicon Flow. These are DeepSeek API is the online version. Silicon Flow, Azure, OpenAI, Grok, and ChatGLM. In our case, we will select the Olama API, where it's showing us the localhost server that is basically to that. And now here we select our model. You will be able to see multiple models here if you downloaded multiple models. So we'll select the DeepSeek-R1 1.5b, and I click Save. One more thing that I want to do before running this is go back to the CMD line where we have this and close it. If you're not closing it, your chat will not work. Cool, because it's actually used by that command line. So what we do now, click on new chat. We have here selected the DeepSeek 1.5b, and let's try a few commands. First will be what is your name and what are your capabilities. What do you see from the get-go? This block of thing. So basically, the thing it's showing how it's thinking. This is something very useful because you can see if it's thinking correctly or if it has some flaws in the thinking process. Because this chat is actually a session, you can actually optimize that thinking by giving extra details to the model, which will help give you better and better answers. So in this case, it took some general details. Basically, the first name is Alex. In our case, this was not really helpful. And I want to mention that I saw differences in between this model and um, basically the 8 billion and let's say the most complex ones were way better at this. Uh, Let me actually ask something else. What can you do as AI? Okay, so he's thinking, and then it gave us the AI capabilities and considerations. Neural networks, it's explaining the nodes, the types of learning, um, the ethical considerations, overfitting, human role. Okay, you actually see the number of tokens used, 447. And yeah, I mean, it's working, it's giving you details. Um, from what I can see from here, there are some kind of standard elements from the training. So for example, before I didn't ask about Alex or anything, but it kind of assumed the name, which was Alex in this case. Now it's a little bit more useful. I mean, for the fact that I didn't really provide the extra data, it did what was asked for. And the data that I see here, the answer that it provided is actually correct. I feel that it could probably be improved with some extra details, but overall is correct. Okay, well, that was really it. Thank you again for being patient with me and waiting to go through this entire process. This way you understand what's possible. And I'm hoping that it was useful for you. Thank you so much again for your time and talk to you next in the next video. Thank you.